The story begins in an old broken-down house. Inside, a man and his wife are being brutally beaten by a few loan sharks. One of them even pressed a hot iron onto the man's lap. Blood was dripping from his mouth, and he begged, "Please, just give me one more month. I promise I'll return your money." But the leader of the loan sharks, the one holding the iron, smirked and said, "If you've borrowed from others too, then sell your organs. A real man pays his debts." Then he grabbed the man by the throat and was about to burn his face with the iron. He said, "You both should feel a little pain. Only then will you understand the pain of those who never get their money back." But just as he was about to press the iron on the man's face, he noticed the woman. She was trembling, breathing heavily, and doing something on her phone. The leader snatched it from her and growled, "What were you doing? Calling the police? Or texting a ghost?" When he looked at the screen, he froze. She was texting her son. The message read, "Son, don't come home." But she hadn't sent it yet. Her son was already trying to reach her, texting, "Mom, where are you? I can't reach you." The message to warn him was never sent. The leader suddenly lit up with an idea. "What's the point in killing you two? You have a son, right? Let's play with him instead." The couple broke down in tears, begging him not to touch their son. But no one listened. The leader told his men, "Shut them up. No noise. We don't want the kid to be scared." They tied the couple to the wall, and just then, their son came home. He was a high school student. His name was Kang San-woo, and he's the real hero of this story. As he opened the door, his mother, with her mouth taped shut and tears in her eyes, tried to signal him not to come in. But it was too late. San-woo was already inside. The loan sharks were ready. He casually took off his shoes, adjusted his bag, and said, "I'm home." Before he could even grasp what was going on, one of the goons smashed a rod on his head. His mother's heart sank. She thought her son was done for. But then, everything changed. San-woo grabbed the guy who hit him, and with a single punch, shattered his face so badly it looked like even hell wouldn't want him. Everyone stood frozen. The leader started sweating. He realized this kid wasn't just strong, he was dangerous. He yelled at his men, "Attack together! Take him down if you have to kill him." One goon charged, but San-woo dodged easily. Then, he hit another guy in the ribs so hard you could hear them cracking. That guy dropped the rod and started gasping for breath. But San-woo didn't stop. He landed another heavy punch in the same spot, this time completely crushing the guy's ribs. Then he grabbed the first attacker's leg and with a powerful kick, shattered his bones. 3 goons were already down. Then another idiot stepped up, thinking he could take San-woo down with a chair. He actually slammed the chair onto San-woo's head. The impact, 0. San-woo grabbed him and slammed him so hard into the wall, the guy blacked out instantly. The leader stood frozen. He couldn't understand what was happening. Thinking he could scare San-woo by threatening his dad, he turned to look, but it was too late. San-woo had already picked up the hot iron. He grabbed the leader's head and pressed it against the wall. Crack! The leader's neck broke. Not a single goon was left standing. San-woo was breathing heavily now. He walked over to his parents, untied them, and simply said, "If we weren't poor, maybe I wouldn't have had to fight." And with that, he collapsed. A few hours later, multiple ambulances showed up. All the gangsters were rushed to the hospital, crying in pain. Even the doctors were overwhelmed by how bad things were. At the reception desk, a man wearing glasses asked a nurse, "What happened here?" The nurse replied without even looking up, "A high school kid took down an entire gangster crew by himself." The man in glasses was stunned. Right in front of him, the gang leader was being wheeled in on a stretcher, neck braced and face barely recognizable. The boss grabbed a new guy and said, "Find the one who did this to us and kill him." But the underling smirked and said, "No problem, boss. That kid's already here. He's in the same hospital." He added, "Black Bear just went in. So, that kid is as good as gone." The man in glasses flinched the moment he heard the name, Black Bear. He quickly turned to the nurse. "That high school boy, what room is he in?" "Room 202, she replied. Without wasting a second, the man sprinted toward the emergency ward, straight for room 202. In his mind he thought, if that's the same Black Bear I know from this area, then he's their top fighter. I need to see him in action to understand his real strength. He stopped near the room and peeked through the glass. He didn't go inside. He just wanted to observe, to see what Black Bear was capable of. Inside, San Wu was lying in bed, still connected to a drip, face to face with Black Bear. Black Bear muttered, I thought I'd be called in for a real threat. But this is just some high school kid with a few punches. Then he looked at San Wu and said, don't take it personally. I've got debts to collect too. But you seem interesting. You're not scared of me. He grinned. All right then, let's see what you've got. Black Bear sneered. Let me show you what real fear looks like. But San Wu didn't give him the chance. He launched a lightning-fast jab, but Black Bear was even faster. He slapped San Wu across the face so hard, it was like swatting a mosquito with a fly swatter. San Wu hit the ground, coughing up blood. Outside the room, the man with glasses was impressed. That's speed. Insane, he thought. Black Bear had lived up to the hype. Black Bear laughed. Kid, no matter how wild you act, if you charge at me with your eyes wide open like that, I'll drop you every time. But in the very next moment, everyone was stunned. San Wu slowly stood up. He wiped the blood from his mouth and said calmly, you talk too much for someone who's got nothing. That got under Black Bear's skin, but also excited him. This is what he craved, the thrill of facing someone who didn't flinch, didn't fear. Now the man with glasses grew serious. He realized Black Bear really intended to kill San Wu. Just as he was about to rush in to stop it, San Wu dodged Black Bear's first strike and landed a brutal kick straight to his face. The man in glasses was shocked. He never imagined anyone could land a clean hit on Black Bear, but Black Bear caught himself with his hand before falling completely. The man with glasses sighed in relief. Of course, he thought, he's called the physical king of the whole country. No way he'd go down that easy. Black Bear smirked. You think I'd fall from a high schooler's kick? But before he could finish his sentence, bang! San Wu landed a punch right in his face. Black Bear's head slammed into the floor, and he went down. Even the man in glasses couldn't believe what he was seeing. This is impossible, but San Wu wasn't done. He unleashed a flurry of punches, one after another. It looked less like a fight, and more like a lesson in pain. Black Bear, desperate, grabbed San Wu around the waist and squeezed hard. San Wu was caught off guard. Black Bear whispered, this move, using it on a high schooler, is shameful. But now it's going to be fun. The man in glasses instantly recognized it, the Bone Crusher, a finishing move. No one had ever escaped it. He thought, I have to stop this fight now. But then he froze. San Wu was still moving. Black Bear couldn't believe it either. His grip wasn't working. The kid wasn't breaking. San Wu, shaking, started to rise with every ounce of strength. Then, bang! He head-butted Black Bear right in the skull. The impact was so brutal, Black Bear let go immediately. He gasped, did this kid get metal implants in his skull or something? But San Wu didn't stop. He landed headbutt after headbutt until bones cracked, teeth shattered, and Black Bear's face turned to pulp. The man with glasses finally shouted, stop! He's already unconscious. Then he whispered, enough. Stop now. If this keeps going, cleaning up this mess will be a nightmare. The man in glasses quickly made a call. Car accident, head trauma, room 202, building B, get here fast. San Wu, barely holding himself up, turned to him and asked, who are you people? The man with glasses handed him a card. This contact, he said, can give you everything you've ever wanted. San Wu stared at it, confused. You're part of his team? Glasses guy chuckled. No, I was thinking of joining your team. Just then, masked men entered the room. Their job, pick up Black Bear and wipe the scene clean. One of them asked the glasses man, status confirmed. Should we wrap it up? He nodded. Make sure Black Bear stays unconscious for a while. Got it, the masked man replied, and the cleanup began. San Wu just sat there, overwhelmed. Who are these people? What the hell is this world? Glasses guy walked back over and handed him the card again. This contact belongs to the one who can give you everything you've ever dreamed of. San Wu took it, but had no clue what it really meant. The man said, you just have to fight for whoever you serve. but San-woo clenched the card in his fist and said coldly, "Get lost." He tossed the card straight into the trash and added, "I don't need to fight to make money. I don't know what scam this is, but I'm not interested." Then he walked out of the room. The man with glasses didn't follow him, but thought to himself, people change. So do their decisions. In the hospital bathroom, San-woo splashed cold water on his face. He muttered to himself, "Damn, no matter how messed up my life is, I could have at least kept Mom's wish to never fight again." Just then, his father walked in. "What are you doing here? And where are you going in that condition?" San-woo snapped, "You tell me, who's responsible for this condition? You, the boxing champion. How did you end up drowning in debt? You had offers, you had a future. Or are you going to say that your stupid champion pride was worth more than Mom's life?" His father stayed silent. He had no answers. He just turned to leave and said quietly, "Don't go anywhere. Stay in the hospital." Moments later, San-woo felt dizzy. He nearly collapsed, grabbing the wall for support. He sat on the floor, breath shaky. "What is this?" he whispered. He thought maybe it was just lack of sleep, but something felt off. "My head only hurts like this when I think about him," he muttered to himself, "because I hate him." He hated his father for always choosing everything else except them. His father would always bring him home injured, and every single time he would bow down in front of the bully's parents, the very ones whose kids had beaten up Sun-woo. Sun-woo never trusted his dad. He refused to believe that his father had done everything he could. He felt like he was sinking, falling deeper into a pit with no way out. For a high schooler who wasn't even old enough to work on deep-sea fishing boats, changing his life felt impossible. Even covering basic daily expenses had become a fight. The delivery bike he used for work, company property, was destroyed. Why? Because he refused to play along with the school bullies. That refusal cost him more than just bruises. It piled more debt onto his already struggling father, and with his mum's condition, he couldn't even think about running away. His life was trapped, buried, rock bottom. Suddenly, he woke up, lying in an unfamiliar hospital bed. His head was pounding. He had no idea when he'd been moved to a different room. He grabbed his phone to check the time, but the moment he opened the screen, his heart sank. A text from his dad. "It's time I tell you everything." Sun-woo froze. What the hell is he hiding now? Before anything, he decided to check on his mum. He called his dad right away. His father's voice was urgent. "Don't go home. Some gangsters are hiding there. It's dangerous." His dad explained that Sun-woo had been moved to another hospital room under a fake name for his safety. Sun-woo's chest tightened. "Then where's Mom?" "She's safe, hiding in a motel near the police station." "I can't talk long. Don't go anywhere." The line went dead. Sun-woo just sat there, still blaming himself. If I hadn't messed with those gangsters, none of this would have happened. But he shook the thought off. He needed to find his mom. Now, he grabbed his jacket just as his phone rang again. Caller ID, Dad. But the voice wasn't his father's. It was a panicked man. "Are you Mr. Kang-sun?" Sun-woo. "Yeah. Who are you?" "There's been an accident. Your dad collapsed. He's unconscious. His condition is serious. A workplace accident. Multiple bones shattered, ribs broken." Hours later, Sun-woo was standing in the ICU, staring at his heavily injured, unconscious father. The doctor said, "The surgery is extremely complicated. It'll cost over 100 million won, and that's just the start. Long-term treatment, rehab." Sun-woo broke down. Tears streamed down his face. "Where am I supposed to get that kind of money? Where do I even start?" Then, he remembered the red business card, the one he'd thrown in the trash. Without wasting another second, he ran straight back to that room. Sun-woo ran back to the room where he'd first received treatment, room 202. But when he got there, it was completely empty, cleared out, wiped clean. He collapsed to the ground. Tears burst from his eyes. "It's all my fault," he whispered, apologizing to his father, over and over, crying, "I wish I had just died instead." Suddenly, a familiar voice spoke from behind. "Are you looking for the red business card?" It was the man with the glasses. He asked, "So, have you changed your mind?" Sun-woo wiped his face and asked, "How much money can you offer?" The man adjusted his glasses and replied calmly, "At least 10 billion won if you win. Even if you don't win, but gain popularity, you can still make a fortune. Then he asked, "So, are you interested in working with us?" Next scene, inside a sleek office, the man with the glasses, now revealed as Kim, hands Sunwoo a contract. "Take your time, read it carefully, sign only when you're ready." Sunwoo looked through the papers. One phrase stood out, "fighting ward." Curious, he asked, "What's this?" Kim explained, "A secret underground fighting tournament, where fighters enhanced by dangerous hospital-grade doping drugs battle it out. These drugs turn people into monsters." Sunwoo was shocked. "You're telling me you guys dope people up?" He immediately refused. "I'm not doing something like that." Kim, unfazed, pulled out some of the drugs. "These aren't just ordinary enhancers. Some of them can give monster-level strength to old men. It's optional, not mandatory." Sunwoo snapped, "Who are you?" Kim smiled. "Apologies for the late intro. I'm Kim Minuk, a scout for a very important person in the fighting ward." Sunwoo had no clue who this important person was, but Kim said, "Forget about identities for now. What matters is, no one has ever won the tournament without doping." Still, Sunwoo stood firm. "I won't do it." "Fine." Kim shrugged. "Let's drop the topic. You'll understand once you're in the arena." Kim broke down the system. "If you reach the top 20, you get to choose a sponsor. Pick the right one, and you can ride that all the way to victory." Sunwoo, frustrated, said, "Okay, I get it. Just give me the money. That's all I care about." Kim calmly replied, "Here's the problem with your request. Payment only happens through the tournament." Sunwoo exploded. "Are you kidding me? If there's no guarantee of money, why the hell should I do this?" Kim replied smoothly, "Because you need money for your dad's surgery and to keep your parents safe." "Am I wrong?" Sunwoo was stunned. How do you know all this?" Kim gave no answer, just said, "You fight for our boss. We'll handle the surgery, the safety, the debt. You just fight." Just then, Sunwoo's phone rang. It was his mom. "Is it true?" she asked. "You already paid our hospital bills and sent bodyguards too?" Sunwoo's eyes widened. "Wait, I did." Kim leaned in and said quietly, "Relax. We've already set up a safe house for your parents." Then added, "Honestly, we have no other option but you." Sunwoo quickly told his mom on the call, "Yeah, Mom, I sent them. Just do as they say. I'll be there soon." He hung up, turned to Kim, eyes sharp. "Why is the prize so high?" Kim replied, "That's just the base prize. With betting, it can go even higher. One winner earned 15 billion won." Sunwoo was stunned. "That's insane." "Possible, yes," Kim said, "but there's a downside. 90% of participants either die or end up disabled. Only 10% come out okay. So many die, and nobody finds out." Kim nodded. "That's why it's a secret. Once you sign, we declare your official death. That's the beauty of the hospital system. We can fake anything. Illness, accidents, overdoses." Sunwoo asked, "And what if I report all of this?" Kim's expression turned cold. "You think it's hard to make you look like a junkie? Who would believe a crazy kid talking about a tournament that doesn't officially exist? By the time you even try, you'll already be officially dead." A sly smile crept onto his face. He turned to Sunwoo and said, "So, what will it be? Do you want to sign now, or take a few days to decide?" Most people take their time, but Sunwoo's eyes were different now. No hesitation. "I don't need a day. I've already decided. Just make sure you keep your promise." Kim smiled wider, the smile of someone who knew he'd won. Suddenly, Sunwoo felt a sharp sting in his neck. A nurse had appeared behind him and injected him with something. He jerked back, confused. "What the hell are you doing?" Kim looked straight into his eyes. "Relax, Sunwoo. It's just anesthesia to take you to the arena. And remember, your parents' surgery, safety, all of it depends on one thing: you staying in the tournament. So make sure you win and solve all your fucking problems." The most interesting part for me was when Sunwoo decided to sign the contract without any hesitation, and just then, he was injected from behind by a nurse. That moment was a major turning point. A regular guy, just trying to save his parents, suddenly steps into a monster-filled underground world. And then Kim says, "Remember, your parents' safety only lasts as long as you're in the tournament." Chilling. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it right now. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. See you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep smiling. Just like that, Sun Wu lost consciousness. Moments later, his senses slowly began to return. His mind was blank. For a moment, he thought he might be dead. Nothing around him made sense. Not the place, not the people, not even the bed he was being wheeled on. "Where am I?" Sun Wu asked, mustering the courage. The man pushing the stretcher replied coldly, "Stay quiet. You'll find out soon enough." A chill ran down Sun Wu's spine. Meanwhile, at the headquarters of the Hosen Group, Vice Chief Yan Wu sat in his office. From now on, we'll refer to him as Vice Chief Yan Wu. Kim had just arrived and briefed him about Sun Wu. Yan Wu responded skeptically, "Are you serious? You want to use a high school student as our representative fighter, even if he defeated Black Bear? This is ridiculous." Kim calmly adjusted his glasses and replied, "Of course, Vice President. It might sound laughable, but that's exactly the point. The more ridiculous it seems, the better." He continued explaining that their ultimate goal was to lure in Vice President Hyungnam, a die-hard fan of the fighting ward. If he underestimates us, he'll take the bait. Now intrigued, Yan Wu asked, "Are you saying this one kid could beat our humanine?" Kim nodded. "We examined his body. Surviving Black Bear's bone-crushing technique alone was a miracle." Back at the fighting ward, Sun Wu's eyes slowly opened. Blurry visuals, foggy thoughts. He was still confused. Where was he? Who was the person about to step on him? Suddenly a voice yelled, "Step back or we'll shoot." The boy threatening Sun Wu quickly backed off. Sun Wu was still lying on the ground, surrounded by flying drones. One drone came close and announced, "Participant consciousness confirmed." Sun Wu looked down. He was in a school uniform. "Wait, I didn't wear this," a loud announcement echoed. "Round 1 match. Starting now. Welcome to the doping test round." Everyone's heartbeat quickened. This round would determine the 200 fighters who could advance to the main battle arena. Their fate now rested on a single injection. For some, it would be a gift of power. For others, a death sentence. Let the selection begin. Each participant will be given a random doping injection, each designed to enhance a specific physical trait. Meanwhile, VIPs watching the tournament were told, "You may now place your bets." Each fighter was given a doping kit. The same boy who tried to attack Sun Wu earlier grabbed his doping gun with excitement and injected himself immediately. Sun Wu looked at his own kit and muttered, "I've already broken my promise to my parents. I said I'd never fight again and that I'd graduate school. But there's one promise I still refuse to break: no drugs, ever." But then reality hit Sun Wu hard. Right in front of him, the boy who had just taken the doping injection began coughing up blood, his body trembling violently. And then, all of a sudden, his body started to transform. Sun Wu's eyes widened in shock. What the hell? The boy, who had been skinny just moments ago, now leapt forward with lightning speed, aiming a stomp directly at Sun Wu's face. But Sun Wu instinctively dodged, ducking just in time. The boy slammed into the wall behind, shattering it on impact. Concrete chunks flew everywhere. The sheer force broke the wall apart. Sun Wu thought to himself, he was just a skinny guy a second ago. Where did those muscles come from? A drone announced in its robotic voice, "Fighter has successfully enhanced strength attribute." The boy, now grinning with excitement, shouted, "I hit the jackpot with power doping. If I could go outside now, I'd destroy everyone who ever called me a weak loser." He stepped forward and in an instant appeared right in front of Sun Wu. "Now, how should I kill this little bug to make it fun?" But before he could act, Sun Wu punched him in the face. It wasn't even a heavy punch, just a quick test. The boy stumbled backward, momentarily caught off guard. Now furious, the boy mistook it as an insult, just like my so-called friends, mocking me. But Sun Wu wasn't listening to his rant. He was analyzing. That punch was just to test the boy's reaction speed. Looks like his reflexes haven't been enhanced, Sun Wu thought. If I can close the distance slowly and create an opening. But the boy suddenly charged full speed, headbutting like a wild animal. Sun Wu instantly realized, I can't face this monster head-on. He tried to adjust his position mid-air for a counterattack, but the boy landed a brutal punch right to his chest. Blood flew out. Before Sun Wu could even recover, the boy grabbed his legs, lifted him up, and slammed him into the ground with all his strength. "I don't need to watch your moves," the boy snarled. "Brute strength is all I need." Sun Wu was helpless. These injuries, they could kill any ordinary person. But Sun Wu had one thing: bone power. The boy, laughing like a maniac, said, "Crushing you feels amazing. Let's see how much pressure a human body can take." He jumped high into the air, yelling, "Bring everyone who used to look down on me, because now I'm King Bang." He came crashing down, landing squarely on Sun Wu's chest. With a creepy grin, he whispered, "The best part of crushing someone is the sound of ribs breaking." When Sun Wu had survived the black bear's bone-crushing attack, they examined his body, and what they found was unbelievable. Sun Wu's bone density was 10 times higher than that of a normal human. That meant his bones weren't like ordinary human bones. Normal attacks had little to no effect on him. Back to the fight. As the boy was stomping on Sun Wu suddenly grabbed his leg and skillfully broke free from his grip. The boy tried to catch Sun Wu's leg again, but Sun Wu quickly changed his leg position and got away. The boy was shocked. How was Sun Wu still holding on without any doping? But he didn't give up. He thought maybe Sun Wu's body hadn't yet fully absorbed the impact of the earlier hits. Meanwhile, Sun Wu was analyzing him carefully. This monster's starting to slow down. Looks like he hasn't enhanced his stamina. Until he can catch me, I should just keep targeting his face. Forget power. For now, it's all about speed. Sun Wu moved toward him. The boy was thrilled. Finally, the target was walking right into his trap. He raised his hand for a fatal strike, but whoosh! Sun Wu dodged the attack and bang! A sharp left jab to the face. The boy reacted with a left-handed counter, but again, Sun Wu dodged and hit him with a fierce right jab. The boy stumbled, losing his balance for a moment. Sun Wu didn't give him time to breathe. He launched a flurry of jabs, one after another, overwhelming the boy until he started to black out. Sun Wu saw the golden opportunity. He decided one final heavy blow could end the fight. But just as he went in for the finishing punch, the boy grabbed his arms, smirking strangely, and said, "Finally got you. You were so excited that you didn't even realize I let you hit me on purpose." But Sun Wu calmly replied, "And you think I let you grab me by accident?" Then he asked, "You know why kangaroos grab their opponent's arms before a powerful strike?" Bang! Sun Wu executed a crazy acrobatic move, swinging his leg up into the boy's face with brutal force. The boy crashed straight to the ground. He couldn't even process what had happened. His body wouldn't move. He screamed in frustration. "Damn it, why is my body acting like this? How can I be losing to someone who hasn't even doped?" Then he looked up at the doping gun, desperate. Maybe one dose wasn't enough. He reached for it, but Sun Wu saw it happening. "Number that dose is meant for me. I have to stop him." But before Sun Wu could get there, the boy had already injected himself. The drone immediately announced, "Stamina doping successfully applied." And in that moment, the boy speared Sun Wu mid-air, slamming into him so hard that Sun Wu began coughing up blood. But it didn't stop there. The boy, enraged, grabbed Sun Wu in the air and smashed him to the ground with full force. A drone flew in to check if Sun Wu was still alive, but the boy shoved it away, because for him, the fight was far from over. He grabbed Sun Wu by the neck and growled, "There's one thing I've always wanted to do. This is the real feeling. These pests, they deserve to have their breath crushed out to feel the real pain." Just when it seemed like Sun Wu was about to give up, suddenly the boy collapsed to the ground and died. The drone announced, "Game over due to player death." Yan Wu, who had been watching everything, stood there completely confused. "What just happened?" Kim replied, "He died due to doping overdose." Adjusting his glasses, Kim explained, "The survival rate for using 2 different types of doping back-to-back is less than 0.5%. He had already taken power doping, then he went for stamina doping. This outcome was inevitable." Yan Wu smirked. "Well, I have to admit, you got lucky. Your opponent killed himself." Kim replied, "Maybe, but I wouldn't call it just luck. Sun Wu's body is unusually strong." Yan Wu responded, "There's nothing strange about it. He just doesn't break easily. But you know, there are even bigger monsters here." Kim said calmly, "Sun Wu is different. With doping, you can enhance muscles, organs, even hormones. But there's one thing you can't enhance: bones. And Sun Wu's bones hold some kind of secret. That's what makes him special." Yan Wu said, "Let's see how special he is when I enter the round." Then he asked Kim, "What's the next step?" Kim adjusted his glasses again and replied, "Sun Wu has passed the doping test round. Now he'll receive urgent treatment, and then he'll be put together with the survivors, players who have developed various powers." Later, in the treatment room of the fighting ward, Sun Wu sat with a worried expression. He muttered, "That guy died because of me." Just as Sunwoo was about to turn and attack the guy, he got a big surprise. Someone stepped in between him and the big guy, stopping him. The man calmly told the big guy, "Enough, stop it." The big guy, clearly irritated, grabbed the man's arm tightly, but the man didn't react at all. He spoke firmly, "Let go of the student. He's just a kid," and with a strong motion, he pulled his arm free. The big guy scoffed. "A guy with only one doped arm thinks he can stop me for the sake of some weakling." Sunwoo was fuming inside, but decided to ignore it. Getting injured unnecessarily would be foolish. The big guy, now fully enraged, decided he'd just kill that man right there. Sunwoo wasn't the type to stand by and watch someone get bullied in front of him, but the real shock came next. A gunshot rang out from a drone hovering above. The big guy collapsed. The drone made an announcement. "Briefing will now begin. Any player who harms others outside of designated schedule will be immediately executed." Sunwoo was stunned. These people, they kill without even giving a warning? Can anyone actually survive in here? Just then, a masked figure appeared on the screen. With enthusiasm in his voice, he announced, "Congratulations to those who passed the doping test. In the last round, the only goal was survival. There was no elimination, but from now on, every round will have elimination. And elimination means incapable of further combat." He paused, then said with a grin, "But you're all here for a reason. A grand prize of 1 billion rupees." All the players were instantly excited. Even Sunwoo thought to himself, "If I could win that money, my family could finally live a normal life." He made up his mind he would do whatever it takes. But then, the masked announcer added, "Unfortunately, the prize will go to only one person." The players groaned, but he continued, "Don't be disappointed. If you survive and make it to the top 16, you'll receive 5% of the total VIP betting amount placed on you." Now, the excitement reached a new level. Some weaklings whispered, "We'll win the prize and snatch that betting money too." Then, the rules were explained. Each player will have their own broadcast channel. A personal guide will be assigned to each, along with a camera. VIPs will watch and bet on the ones they believe will win. The more attention you attract, the more money you make. Then came the housing arrangement. Players will be given 5% rooms, their living quarters, till the game ends. You're free to choose your own roommates. If you have further questions, your guide will assist. Meanwhile, the clown guy whispered to the crab guy, "To attract VIP attention, we need to be seen with strong players. We'll have to make some big moves." The crab guy sneered, "If I share a room with that high school kid, I won't earn a single penny." Sunwoo sighed to himself. Damn, even finding a room is turning out to be this tough. Just then, the same person who had saved him earlier spoke up again. "Don't stress too much. I'll make sure nothing happens to you before the official matches begin." Sunwoo didn't reply, but he noticed the man's hand was still trembling, clearly from the force of that giant guy's grip earlier. As they were talking, someone walked past them. Sunwoo felt like he recognized the man. Maybe someone famous? The man said, "Looks like there's a room where no one's competing for space. Let's check it out." Sunwoo was suspicious. He got hurt because of me, and now he wants to room with the one guy everyone is avoiding. But he thought to himself, danger is everywhere in this place, no matter which room I choose. So he decided to go along with him. Meanwhile, the clown guy looked at them and scoffed. "This looks like a complete disaster group." The crab guy predicted their viewership will be the lowest. The clown guy added, "Exactly why I pick a room next to the most popular ones. Sharing the same room is dangerous, but if I stay next door, I'll still get screen time." The crab guy agreed. Right, if meatheads attract the VIPs, just being near them is beneficial. In the opposite room, 3 huge muscle-bound guys were sitting around. They looked terrifying. Suddenly, a blonde-haired guy entered, closed the door, and calmly walked toward them. He said, "I like the spot you guys have taken." Mind shifting over a little? One of the big guys stood up and growled, "The cameras aren't even on yet, and you come in, closing the door behind you? Looks like you've got a death wish." He swung a left arm punch at the blonde, but the blonde guy casually raised just 2 fingers. Bang! He struck the weakest point on the man's neck. The giant collapsed immediately, his neck twisted unnaturally. The other 2 muscle guys stood in shock, frozen. The blonde looked at them and asked, "Anyone else want a greeting?" No one said a word. Silence. He smirked. Good. Staying quiet is the smart choice, because the one I really want to greet is someone else. His name was Herman, age 19 each. For reference, we'll call this blonde guy MSU. Hours later, inside a car on a bridge, Kim spoke to Yanwoo. we just got intel. The first vice president is planning to team up again with Troy Machun, last tournament's champion. Yanwu clenched his fist and muttered in frustration, "Damn, of course he would go for him. There's no one who can beat Troy. Unlike me, all I've got is a high schooler as my alternative." Kim replied coldly, "If Sunwoo makes it to the top 16, he'll qualify for the second doping round. And with a body already 10 times stronger than a normal human, once doped again, he could become a record-breaking monster." The man assured Sunwoo, "Don't worry too much." Yanwu was a bit concerned, but wondered how to keep him on their side when other VIPs will try to snatch him away. Kim confidently said, "Don't worry about that. Right now, the 5 people in his room had the lowest viewership during the doping test round." Back at the fighting ward, Sunwoo entered his new room with the man who had saved him. The man said in a weird tone, "Gaining viewership here won't be easy. The audience is attracted to fighters who have a real chance to win." There were already some people in the room. Amanda Grok, 23, a capoeira fighter, Kim Minho, 25, a boxer and the youngest competitor, and Minan, 28, who was literally trying to touch his elbow with his tongue. Cameras circled the room, filming everyone. The man said to Sunwoo, "Looks like the guides have started filming. We have to attract the VIP's attention for betting money." Then the man put one hand on the ground and flipped his whole body upside down, doing acrobatics. Sunwoo thought, this isn't anything special. But then Amanda stood up, placed one finger on the ground, and lifted her entire body with it. Sunwoo was shocked. How could she lift her whole body with just one finger without any momentum? Amanda and the man started competing on who was faster. Minho said, "Strength is for fools," and zoomed forward and backward at full speed. Meanwhile, Minan finally managed to touch his elbow with his tongue. Everyone was showing their talents to grab the audience's attention and betting money. Sunwoo was confused, thinking, "What is this? It looks amazing, but I feel like an idiot watching this." Suddenly, an announcement appeared on the screen. The tournament bracket for all 124 players was complete. Everyone was shocked to see who their first opponent would be. Sunwoo's opponent was Kai. The scene shifted to the Hosen group, where Yanwu asked Kim if Kai was really that dangerous. Kim explained, "Kai has never lost a fight in his life. He fights in Leva, Burmese martial art similar to Muay Thai, but more brutal. There are no gloves and headbutts are allowed." Yanwu, confused, asked, "What's leave?" Kim said, "In leave, forehead strikes to the opponent's face are allowed, which can be fatal. That's why this technique is mostly banned. The most dangerous part is that attacks to the back of the head and spine are allowed, which are strictly forbidden in other martial arts. That's why Kai has the most real combat experience compared to all other participants." Even after his professional career ended, Kai didn't stop fighting. Instead, he began taking on infamous street fighters, which led to an organization recruiting him. Yanwu finally asked, "Do you really think Sunwoo can stand against him?" Kim replied, intrigued, "I don't know. So far, Sunwoo has only fought dead collectors and a guy like Black Bear, people who never had proper martial arts training." The scene shifts back to the 5-person room in the fighting ward. Sunwoo rose from his box, feeling quite relieved. He wondered how long he had been asleep, but immediately realized his body felt unusually light. This wasn't just a light feeling, it was the same sensation he had felt before after fighting Black Bear. The same feeling as if he had become stronger. Just then, the man who had saved him also got up and told Sunwoo, "No need to be surprised. When muscles are pushed to their limit and recover without permanent damage, they naturally become stronger." Then he added, "Looks like you never pushed yourself to that limit before." Sunwoo thought in shock, is he telling the truth? "When I fought Black Bear, I was already at my limit, but I didn't even realize how I was still fighting." The man said, "Forget the muscles, your recovery speed also seems abnormal. Maybe you're a victim of some recovery doping." The Sunwoo looked at him seriously and asked, "I've been curious about one thing since last night. Why did you risk yourself to save me? Why get injured?" The man's face paled slightly. "You remind me of my son. If I had been a better father, he wouldn't have gotten involved with loan sharks. I'm here to pay off his debts." There was guilt in his eyes, but when I saw you alone, it just reminded me of my son, the one I neglected, the one I ruined. So I couldn't just stand silently. Sunwoo said seriously, "Don't waste your time on me. Just stay alive and take care of your real son. If you die, all this will be for nothing." The man was moved moved by Sun Woo's words but said, "I don't care. I will always help you." Suddenly, Minan shouted angrily, "Damn it, I'm the guy who can touch his elbow with his tongue, so why am I not in the main arena?" The man told Sun Woo, "I heard the matches with the highest viewership go to the main arena. Everyone else fights in the doping arena." But the twist was, being in the main arena meant facing the tournament's most popular monsters. Sun Woo saw it as an opportunity. Perfect. This way, all the VIP's attention would be on our room at once. The man was shocked. "Are you crazy?" Suddenly, Minan appeared right in front of Sun Woo's face. Sun Woo literally trembled in fear. Minan said, "The main arena isn't just to attract viewers. That's where the solar wife herself personally comes. Those people are the real powers of the world." The scene shifts. Night had fallen. Outside a house deep in the forest, 3 cars were parked with their headlights on. Inside the house, Kim and Yan Woo stood by a fire. Yan Woo said to Kim, "I thought I was going to the arena." "What kind of lousy place is this?" Kim calmly replied. "The exact location of the fighting ward is a secret. Only the organizers know. Maybe that's why it's in such a hidden spot." Suddenly, they realized someone else had connected to Sun Woo's channel besides them. Yan Woo got confused. Suddenly, "Is someone watching us?" At that moment, a voice came from above the building. It sounded like there was a misunderstanding. It was a girl, Shangyan, age 19, the youngest daughter of the Hojun group. She casually said, "I'm just interested in Sun Woo. I'm not stalking you two." Yan Woo's blood boiled. "Seriously? A few days ago, I got kicked out of the company, and now you guys are following me like rats," Kim said calmly. "Looks like this young lady has a special interest in the boss, and I think she might have some ulterior motives." Yan Woo warned sharply, "If you're planning something, it's better to quietly leave. Whatever you're thinking won't work." Before anything else could happen, a drone and a car stopped right in front of them. They were there to pick them up, 2 guides who would take them directly to the fighting ward's main arena. A drone announced that it would now escort everyone to the arena, clearly signaling that the next phase of the competition was about to begin. Just then, a mysterious voice instructed a girl to remove the blindfold from her eyes. As soon as she did, she found herself in a large, luxurious room connected to a viewing window. At first, she couldn't understand what the people inside the room were doing, but when she looked outside, she saw a massive arena where intense fights were taking place. A bold bodyguard approached her and said, "What you're seeing below is the main arena. The owner of this arena is seated in one of the 16 VIP rooms." The girl smiled slightly and replied, "So, we've finally arrived at my brother's playground." Kim was present in the room as well. He briefed everyone, "As soon as the current match ends, Sun Woo will enter the competition. His fight is up next." At that very moment, in the arena below, a small boy defeated an opponent 10 times his size. Watching this, Kim muttered, "That kid is a monster." He turned to the manager and revealed, "That boy is Han Soo. He's the same age as Sun Woo." The manager was stunned. Another high schooler in the arena. Kim checked his tablet and added, "Technically, Han Min dropped out of school, so he's not a student anymore. But strangely, he quit the same school that Sun Woo was expelled from." Just then, a guide drone arrived near 2 fighters and made an announcement. "The match between Room 9 and Room 20 has ended with Han Min's victory. Next up, Room 10 versus Room 28. As the announcement echoed, all the fighters from those rooms started stepping out. When Sun Woo and the old man walked into the arena, they were even more stunned than they had been in the previous round. Minho's match was scheduled first. The other 10 fighters waited patiently for their turn. Anyone who lost had to leave the stage immediately. The old man knew that Minho wasn't the kind to panic easily, but then suddenly, something shot towards Sun Woo at incredible speed, like a projectile. He flinched in shock. It turned out to be just a rock urn that had been hurled at blinding speed. But Minho wasn't an ordinary fighter. He instantly realized the stone had come from none other than Han Min, and he also knew very few people would have noticed such a quick move. Yet Minho wasn't just anyone. Just then, Naman walked up casually and asked Minho, "Are all your high school teammates this arrogant?" Minho looked confused and responded, "I'm not really sure about their nature." But suddenly, Naman's mood shifted. He erupted in anger, declaring, "There's no way what you just said is true. The moment Minho sensed the bloodlust coming off Naman, he instinctively dropped into a defensive stance. Meanwhile, Sun Woo and the old man stood by, unsure what had triggered Naman's sudden rage. "Why is he behaving like that?" Amanda explained to the old man. "Minho's senses are so heightened that he can detect even the tiniest shift in his opponent's intent." When he opened his eyes and saw Han walking away, he was shocked. He couldn't understand how his instincts got so overwhelmed that he momentarily thought he was under attack. But Minho was sure a moment earlier Han genuinely was about to attack him with deadly intent, and then changed his mind at the very last second. Before anyone else could pick up on the moment, Minho was called into the ring by his actual opponent. The scene shifted to a grand hotel, where a wealthy president was watching the fight on a large screen. He turned to his butler and asked about Minho's opponent. The butler responded, "His name is Peace, and while the kid may have some flashy moves, Peace is a solid wrestler. If he finds his rhythm, he can crush his opponent within seconds." He continued, "Wrestlers have always dominated the top tiers of mixed martial arts. It's the strongest base in combat. Even when attacked with just fists, a wrestler can grab and control the fight. The most dangerous opponents aren't those who punch, they throw their entire body weight into every attack." In short, the butler concluded, if you're a good wrestler, you've got nothing to fear. Minho was being compared to Peace on a physical level. As soon as Minho took a boxing stance, Peace chuckled. "What is this? Some kind of boxing cosplay?" He assumed Minho couldn't fight without gloves. Unfortunately for Peace, his first opponent was Minho. But before Peace could laugh further, Minho moved in and landed a punch with insane speed, one that hit Peace's eye so hard it was likely he'd never be able to see from it again. Peace howled in pain, his face contorting in agony. Minho, on the other hand, remained cold, completely calm. One single strike and Peace was already injured and disoriented. He could now only see out of one eye and barely even follow Minho's lightning-fast movements. Minho kept attacking from the same damaged side, making it impossible for the much larger Peace to react or defend. Suddenly, Minho landed a left uppercut and, without missing a beat, followed with a right straight punch to the face. The impact was so intense that it may have fractured Peace's skull, and yet Peace neither fell nor backed down. He stood his ground, refusing to collapse. But Minho showed no mercy. He launched attacks from every angle, each strike brutal and devastating. The hits came so relentlessly that Peace's second eye was also beginning to give out. Minho wasn't just winning, he was demolishing Peace piece by piece. Everything was happening so fast that the big guy couldn't properly track Minho's moves. The old man was shocked, watching Minho, who had almost defeated his opponent with just a few punches. But Amanda pointed out that somehow Peace was managing to grab Minho's fists and trying to stop them. Then the scene suddenly shifts to the stage. We see that Peace had almost launched an attack on Minho, but Minho instantly jumped back, creating distance. He himself was confused. He had been dominating Peace, so why did he suddenly feel danger? Peace, too, was shocked. How was he able to block those attacks? That's when he remembered the moment his one eye briefly started seeing clearly. His instincts kicked in. The intensity of that savage fight was so crazy that his entire body went on high alert. It felt like Peace had entered the second phase of a boss fight. He closed his eyes, and even Minho couldn't properly understand what was happening. But he knew one thing: he had to stay alert, because the odds weren't entirely in his favor anymore. Peace, with closed eyes, suddenly caught Minho's punch. Everyone in the hotel president's VIP room watching the fight was shocked. Minho felt a sudden sense of danger. He knew that if he didn't move left, he would definitely die. Somehow he dodged Peace's next attack and thought he was safe. But then a jointed hand came toward Minho, grabbed him, and slammed him into the ground. Before he could even hit the floor, Peace had already caught him mid-air and performed a reverse body slam. But the old man was stunned by the outcome, while the president looked pleased, though he still didn't understand how Peace became even more powerful after losing an eye. The butler explained, maybe it was the effect of that injection. When he lost his vision, his other senses became sharper. The scene rewinds a bit. Minho was being brutally beaten. Peace smiled like a devil, thanking Minho for damaging one of his eyes, because that was what helped him fully awaken his new powers. But suddenly, Minho punched again. he refused to give up. The punch was so powerful that Peace was thrown several meters away. Then we find out Minho had burst Peace's other eye, like a balloon. The hotel president went into deep shock. He thought all his money had gone down the drain. The old man hoped Minho might still be okay even after all those attacks. He didn't truly know what had happened, but he was just glad that things turned out this way. Meanwhile, the butler told the president something even more shocking. When Minho landed that final punch, he was unconscious. The president was shaken to the core. He had clearly seen Minho raise his fist in victory, but Amanda knew Minho needed to regain consciousness immediately. Minho had to wake up before Peace could find him using his enhanced senses, even without eyes. Now we see that Peace has awakened, but Minho is still unconscious. Peace couldn't see a thing with either eye, but surprisingly, this wasn't a weakness. It became an advantage. His senses were evolving with every passing second. He could smell the floor, feel the dirt particles in his opponent's breath, and even detect slight changes in air pressure with his skin. It felt like he could see behind himself without turning around. At first, he had thought the injection he took wasn't powerful, since it wasn't some kind of power-type drug, but now he realized that injection was insane. He now possessed powers that were growing stronger every second. Peace started laughing maniacally, while everyone stood stunned, staring at him. He finally decided because of Minho, he had received this strength, so he would let him rest peacefully. Then suddenly, he jumped and launched an attack. Meanwhile, Minho was still unconscious. His body wasn't ready to respond to Peace's presence, but then he remembered he had to avenge his innocent brother's death. At that moment, he recalled how he was dragged into the underground fight arena when he was just searching for weapons. That memory was so powerful that Minho's eyes snapped open. His body came back under his control, and as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw Peace about to strike him with a sharp elbow attack. But something was odd. Peace's speed looked as slow as a turtle. Minho quickly understood. Peace hadn't gotten slower, it was himself. He had become much faster. Peace's attack was so powerful that it cracked the ground, but Minho was no longer there. The old man was also stunned, watching this. What just happened? Peace saw Minho, and Minho thanked him for his enhanced senses. After resting a bit, Minho had recovered considerably, and now Peace finally understood. This little boy was no joke. Minho was now faster than before. He took his stance again and teased Peace to follow him. He had gone back to basics and took the first step. Peace immediately sensed that a major attack was coming. The fight resumed between the two, and somehow Peace blocked Minho's punch at the exact right moment. But Minho was fully confident. He knew one blocked punch could be a coincidence, but the second one will definitely land. But then another attack failed. That's when Minho realized he'd have to take things one step further. Peace's senses had become so sharp, Minho wasn't able to land even a single strike. He was confused. How could such a heavy guy track his speed like this? Peace could sense even the slightest heartbeat of Minho. He knew now there wasn't a single blind spot left around him that could take him down. Even Minho realized that fighting this opponent at normal speed was no longer possible. As risky as it was, he had no choice but to push to his max speed and face Peace head-on. Minho began charging like a Supra. He knew now was the time to land his special move, the straight light punch. But the moment he threw the punch, Peace caught it instantly, slammed him hard onto the ground. As Minho fell, his neck snapped. Peace calmly asked him, even after powering up this much, "Why did you fall?" Minho suddenly got up. He thought his neck had broken, but it was perfectly fine. Peace just smiled and said, "If you hadn't fallen down, I would have broken every bone in your body one by one." Meanwhile, the old man stood up, realizing Minho's speed wasn't working anymore, but he was still learning and analyzing, trying to figure out what kind of move could possibly defeat an opponent like Peace. Just then, they saw Minho get back up again, and this even after his stamina doping had worn off. Still, Minho tried to maintain his speed, and the old man was genuinely shocked. Suddenly, a punch from Minho landed clean straight on Peace's face. The old man was stunned at what he was witnessing. Minho was now dodging the big man's moves, moving insanely fast, circling him like a madman. The old man couldn't understand how Minho was still keeping this speed up even after the doping effects had worn off. Then another punch landed, second clean shot, straight to Peace's face. Yet the old man was still puzzled. Why is Minho wasting so much energy on fake moves when his actual punches are working? That's when Amanda spoke up again. She explained, "It's exactly because of those fake moves that Minho's punches are connecting." Amanda went on to explain how Minho had stopped using fake moves once he realized his opponent had lost his vision. And that's exactly when the real problem started, because Peace's other senses had evolved far beyond normal at that point. The old man could only understand about 50% of what Amanda was saying, but she didn't stop. She continued, "Minho is now cheating Peace's enhanced senses. If Peace sees a single, simple attack, he can read it easily. But if multiple attacks come from different directions, it becomes almost impossible to block them all, especially if the person doesn't yet have enough experience with these new senses." Now, Minho had become Peace's biggest puzzle. It had turned into a purely confusing battlefield. And yet, even with such little time to analyze and predict, Amanda had a shocking realization. Minho was even more dangerous than she had previously thought. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, and let us know which part you found the most interesting. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go do that right now. Also, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep smiling. The camera focuses on Peace's face, still wearing that confident expression, as if silently telling the world he hasn't lost yet. But in a sudden twist, Minho is grabbed and slammed to the ground with bone-crushing force. Everyone watching is stunned, until, in the blink of an eye, Minho vanishes into thin air, like dust scattered in the wind. He reappears directly in front of Peace, completely unharmed, staring straight into his eyes. Sanwoo watches in disbelief, as Peace suddenly collapses to the floor, confused and shaken, as if he'd just punched thin air. Amanda steps forward to explain Minho's repeated strikes to Peace's head caused his enhanced brain to shake, weakening his sensory perception. In his confusion, Peace only imagined he had grabbed Minho, when in reality, he hadn't even come close. Sanwoo is left stunned, asking himself whether Minho is even stronger than him. That moment of doubt turns into quiet jealousy, especially seeing Minho fight with such sharp instincts without any kind of performance enhancement. Just then, a drone echoes through the arena, announcing that Kim Minho is the winner. The old man watching from the sidelines jumps up in joy, while the VIP in the high room clenches his fists in anger. After the fight, Minho collapses, exhausted and barely able to stand. Back in the VIP lounge, a girl silently watches and remarks that this no longer feels like a human battle. The realization hits her. Those VIPs who went insane didn't lose their minds randomly. Her bodyguard explains this place isn't just a battleground, it's a full-blown paradise for the elite, offering them money, power, illegal indulgences, and violence, all without consequences. He adds that the pride of the VIPs is now riding on these fights. The girl starts to understand the depth of the game. The second in command is fully determined to overthrow the current leader. Her guard tells her that their chosen fighter was not only highly skilled, but had deep combat knowledge. She admits this isn't just a competition anymore, it's a full-on war, and the real strength will only be revealed in the rounds ahead. Meanwhile, in the control center, a staff member informs the director that all 16 VIPs have arrived. The director smiles, hopeful that this time they'll achieve a meaningful breakthrough. Another report follows. Sensory doping awakening has entered its second stage, and this time, side effects are down by 20%. However, the regeneration they were aiming for still hasn't manifested, yet the staff refuses to accept failure, stating that the peak effects are only just beginning. For the first time, the doping has shown a new result, one that might offer clues to unlocking regeneration. The director asks when the skin enhancement effect will show, and the reply is simple: during the next match, in the main arena where Kai will be fighting. At the same time, Sanwoo is preparing for his own battle. The old man gives him some final advice, suggesting that if things get tough, it's okay to give up. But Sanwoo, calm and collected, responds, "I won't give up." The old man is shocked. Sanwoo's poise and composure show not a hint of fear. Suddenly, a drone's voice echoes once more. Kangwoo, known as Kai, is entering the arena. Sanwoo watches closely, thinking back to his childhood, where his battle against fear began. He remembers surviving dangerous moments without a scratch. At first, he cried when afraid, but over time, he went numb to fear itself. Even the bullies who once tried to intimidate him began to fear the way he never flinched, never reacted. At this point, Sanwoo had only one fear left: his family's safety. The moment he laid eyes on Kai, a chilling realization hit him. This opponent was on a whole different level. Manager Yunav asked, "What kind of doping is Kai using?" Kim calmly explained it was his first time witnessing a skin enhancement type, and it wasn't just effective, it was insanely dangerous. Kai's skin was so hard, so coarse, that even the slightest contact could rip through his opponent's skin and muscles. He wasn't just a fighter, he was practically a walking weapon. Kim also noticed that most of the VIPs were betting heavily on Kai, all because of his unmatched training and the terrifying results of his skin enhancement doping. Yunav looked uncertain. "Should we still bet on Sanwoo?" Kim replied coolly. "So far, all bets are on Kai. No one has dared to back Sanwoo except one. Someone placed a $1 billion bet on him earlier." The revelation left manager Yunav speechless. The scene shifts to a quiet chamber, where a guard asks Seon, "Are you sure about this decision?" Seon answers with resolve, "I'm trusting my intuition. Beating veterans takes one thing: big risks for big rewards." Suddenly, the drone's voice booms across the arena. Match begins: Kai versus Kang Sanwoo. Sanwoo steadies himself, filled with determination. But one thing gnaws at his focus. Why hasn't Kai made a single move to prepare? Sanwoo calls out, "Are you actually going to fight, or just talk?" Kai, calm and emotionless, replies, "I'm a warrior, I don't hurt the weak." Then, slowly stepping forward, he adds, "I'll attack you only once, using 10% of my strength." And in the very next second, with terrifying speed, Kai delivers a brutal kick. Sanwoo couldn't even react. The entire arena falls silent, in shock. Manager Yunav is stunned by the sheer force of the attack, thinking the match might already be over. The old man mutters, "It's better if Sanwoo just gives up now." But Minho notices something. The kid isn't even screaming in pain. Something's off. Sanwoo realizes it too. Kai wasn't trying to hurt him, he just wanted to scare him. Minho explains, Kai isn't saving Sanwoo. He's embarrassed to be fighting a high schooler, afraid his reputation might be damaged. That's why he's pretending this fight is beneath him. Then Kai coldly tells Sanwoo, "You should have pretended to be unconscious, not acted like you're in pain." But Sanwoo suddenly snaps back. "Do you have any real moves, or is talking your only superpower?" That hits Kai hard. He's genuinely caught off guard. For the first time, he admits he underestimated Sanwoo. He resets, and this time, he charges in with full speed. But Sanwoo raises his leg and blocks the kick. Silence drops like a hammer across the arena. Kai instantly follows up with a punch, but Sanwoo just tilts his head, dodging it completely. Kai is visibly shaken. The high schooler's agility is unreal. He goes for a strike to the head. Sanwoo not only dodges, but lands a direct punch to Kai's face. Manager Yunav is frozen in shock. Meanwhile, in the VIP box, the girl's eyes sparkle with excitement. Sanwoo smirks and taunts. A man who kneels before a high schooler doesn't deserve a second chance. Kai is rattled. Sanwoo continues, "I don't hit people who've already surrendered." Furious, Kai growls, "If you won't fake a loss, then I'll make you want to surrender." He grabs Sanwoo by the shoulder, eyes intense, and says, "I have no choice left. I have to act." Sanwoo is stunned, completely still, and in a flash, Kai headbutts him with 50% power. Pain explodes through Sanwoo's skull. But something strange happens. Kai feels like he's losing control over his own strength. Sanwoo tries to retaliate with a kick, but Kai narrowly dodges. Even then, he notices Sanwoo isn't showing injury. Sanwoo's vision begins to blur. He's struggling to stay on his feet. Kai attacks again. Sanwoo dodges once more, but the force of the blow tears his shirt. The old man gasps. Such light contact, yet the fabric is shredded. But Minho, calm and collected, says, "This fight isn't over yet." And then Kai goes in again, this time with everything he has. This time, Kai's knee landed directly into Sanwoo's body without wasting even a second. He raised his elbow, preparing for another brutal strike. From the sidelines, the old man shouted in panic, "No, don't hit the back of his head. That could be fatal. This has gone too far." The floor of the arena cracked violently where Sanwoo's body hit. The entire arena went still. His body hit. The entire arena went still, like every breath had been sucked out of the crowd. Right there, in the center of the arena, Sanwoo lay motionless, and Kai stood above him, expressionless, as if that brutal assault meant absolutely nothing to him. The old man's heart sank, his face darkened. This is too much, he muttered, fear dripping from his voice. He's just a high school kid. Sanwoo might not survive this. Minho, standing nearby, responded coldly, "You're right about one thing." He cut through the old man's worry with his calm tone. "Kai is a monster, just as we've heard." The old man looked at him, confused, unsure of what Minho really meant. Sanwoo still hadn't moved. His head was half embedded into the shattered floor. Kai just stood there, staring down, his mind racing. Was that it? Is this kid done? But something didn't feel right. Just before that elbow had landed, Kai realized Sanwoo had slammed his own head into the ground. Why was he trying to hurt himself, or was he playing some twisted mind game? Suddenly, a voice came from the ground, weak but sharp. "I was just trying to avoid a direct hit to my occipital lobe." It was Sanwoo. His voice was faint but clear. Call it fear or fast thinking, but that was my best option in that moment. Kai's eyes widened. Sanwoo was moving, struggling but rising. Still not willing to give up, Sanwoo looked straight at Kai, breath heavy, and said, "Even if your skull is made of steel, if that elbow had connected cleanly, the damage could have been real." Kai stood in disbelief. How is he even getting up? Is this some kind of doping effect? But he remembered Sanwoo didn't use enhancements. It was his previous opponent who overdosed and died. Then what's driving this kid? The old man stood stunned. How is he still standing? He mumbled in disbelief. Even Minho, usually calm and composed, raised an eyebrow. A flicker of surprise broke through his stoic face. He quickly covered it. "It's fine. Don't worry about it," he said flatly. But inside, even he was beginning to doubt Sanwoo's strong shore. "But this is unnatural. He keeps getting up like nothing ever happened." Now standing tall again, Sanwoo was gasping for air. But his eyes burned with determination. Kai stared at him, genuinely confused. "Hey kid," he said, "don't push yourself too far. If you just pretend to pass out, I'll accept it. Don't hurt yourself for nothing." Sanwoo took a deep breath, locked eyes with Kai. His voice was sharp, solid. "You're still talking, huh? Can't stay silent even for a second, can you?" Kai blinked, genuinely unsure if this kid had lost his mind from the impact or was just that stubborn. But one thing was now crystal clear. This fight wasn't over, and Sanwoo wasn't backing down. He steadied his breathing, reset into his stance, eyes locked on Kai. Then with a smirk, he said, "Where's all that tough guy energy now? You were making bold claims, right? Well, guess what? I can keep doing this all day." His line dripped with raw confidence, his spirit still unbroken. Kai, calm and cold, replied, "You can say whatever you want, but when you know you can't win, what's the point in fighting? Why waste time and energy?" Then, with a mocking smirk, he stretched his arms out wide, fully exposing his chest. "Let's make this interesting. Come at me with full force. I won't defend." Sanwoo paused for a moment. A flicker of confusion crossed his face, but then something shifted. A new, unshakable sharpness entered his eyes. "So that's what this is all about, huh? You've been ignoring me all this time because you thought I was weak. Fine. But now you're so overconfident, you're mocking me to my face." Kai's expression remained stone cold. He said flatly, "I'm the strongest, and I've walked through hell to prove it. I've fought in underground rings, I've claimed championship titles, but not one opponent has ever truly satisfied my hunger for battle. So I had to move on. Search for more," he continued. "When your only goal is to become the ultimate warrior, you take the biggest risks." I joined a gang where people killed for cash, later that erased enemies without hesitation. I crushed everyone in my path. I'm the ultimate survivor, the strongest. But Sanwoo didn't back down. His spirit was still intact, solid, and unbroken. He snapped back, "You think you've seen everything? Well, this is different. Now the real fight begins." Without wasting another second, Sanwoo charged at Kai with full speed. His fist clenched tight with all the strength he could summon. Strength. Kai just smirked. His arms were still wide open. No guard, no defense. "Come on," he said mockingly. "It won't matter." And then bam. Sanwoo's fist landed straight into Kai's gut. The impact sent a shockwave through the arena. The ground shook. Gasps echoed from the stunned crowd. Everyone watched in disbelief. Why would Kai let himself get hit? And what does this mean for the outcome of the fight? But Kai didn't move, not even a step back. He stood firm, completely unfazed. Still looking down at Sanwoo, he said, "Told you it's useless. A mere high schooler doesn't have the power to hurt me." But then, something strange happened. Kai's eyes flickered. A faint flicker of confusion touched his expression. And then that feeling, a feeling he hadn't felt in a very, very long time. It was as if something inside him cracked, like a shard of glass, shattering from the inside. Before Kai could even process the blow, Sanwoo launched a swift kick straight toward his head. But this time, Kai didn't make the same mistake twice. He blocked it effortlessly, his face now twisted with pure rage. "How dare you!" Kai roared, his voice dripping with fury. He countered with a vicious punch, so powerful it could have shattered stone. Sanwoo felt the brutal force behind it. He tried to dodge, but the speed was insane. Even though Kai's elbow only grazed his chest, it was enough. A deep, bloody cut tore open. Pain seared through Sanwoo's body, but he didn't flinch, didn't even show it on his face. The arena was now electric. Every spectator was on edge. The tide of battle had shifted. Both fighters now understood this wasn't just a fight anymore. This was about to become a brutal war. Sanwoo's face tensed. He realized he hadn't dodged Kai's last hit cleanly, so he quickly created distance. Suddenly silence. A cold, unnatural silence hung over the arena. They stared at each other. Neither moved. Then Kai broke the tension. "You're not bad," he said, in a cold, measured voice. "You've had your chances. Got anything else to show me?" Sanwoo's voice was low, but confident. "Yeah." A slow, confident smile spread across his face, one that caught Kai slightly off guard. Sanwoo tugged at his torn shirt. "Remember what you said earlier?" Then he ripped it open. The crowd gasped. What they saw wasn't just muscle. It was proof of struggle, of pain, of years of pushing past limits. Especially one old man in the crowd, glasses slipping down his nose. He never imagined a high schooler could have a physique like that. The atmosphere shifted. Sanwoo looked Kai in the eyes, his voice calm, steady. "I'm guessing I don't get any more free shots, do I?" Kai's eyes narrowed. He gave a slight nod. "You were strong, I'll give you that. But you are still far from beating me." It wasn't just a compliment. It was a warning. And then, without warning, boom. A blue glow exploded around Kai. Energy pulsed from his body like a shockwave. His aura was now terrifying. "I am at 100% now," he announced. His form became monstrous. The pressure in the arena thickened. Sanwoo could feel it pressing down on him, but that confident smile, it never left his face. His eyes remained steady. He was ready to face Kai's full strength. Off to the side, the old man in glasses was stunned. "Why is he still smiling?" he muttered in disbelief. Amanda, eyes locked on the battle, whispered softly, "Now it's getting fun." Her anticipation grew, and the old man shook his head. "Interesting, but this is going to be a slaughter. Kai's using everything he's got. This will be a massacre," Amanda replied calmly. "A fight isn't won with power alone. It's sear when your opponent finally recognizes you." If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Tell us in the comments what was your favorite moment. And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Smash that bell icon so you don't miss the next update. See you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep smiling.